Okay, so the reason for doing this video at this time is to finish up this group of slides that we started today, Wednesday in class. It's good to do this while it's sort of fresh in our minds before the example loses some freshness and recollection. And then we're going to get because it gets a little deeper in just a few minutes. Here was the fair market value of the land came in at 100,000 the day the partnership started, but oops, instead of going up in value, it went down in value. It sells for 70,000. The tax basis, which was a carryover basis from John, is 60,000. For tax purposes, we got a $10,000 gain, and it should all go to John because he had a built-in gain. That's what the big stands for. He had built-in gain when he came in to the partnership, having the $60,000 basis that the property was in his hands. Had he sold it for $100,000 the day he brought it in, he would have had a gain of 40. That's his built-in gain. And since it only sold for 70 after being botched by the partnership, so to speak, he still has to recognize the first $40,000 of gain, if there is $40,000 of gain. So certainly with 10, he has to recognize it. Here we see how the book capital accounts work out to being equal because we split the $30,000 loss that was in the hands of the partnership based on book. Remember, the property for book purposes was at the value of the fair market value, that is. Let's do that better. Fair market value. And in the hands of the partnership, it sold for 70, which is a $30,000 loss for book purposes. Tax, it's a gain. All the gain goes to John. We're left with unequal capital accounts, so the tax law will handle that by saying that for Lori, since she only gets 85 back, she gets to recognize a $15,000 loss. And for John, since he gets 85 back, he'll recognize another $15,000 of gain. And that's good because had John sold the property for 70, his gain would have been $10,000. But he didn't sell it for 70 because he shared the deal with Lori, who wound up giving him another $15,000 when she split the sale at 70, leaving with the $100,000 of cash that she brought in the deal. Let's go over that again because that'll bring up a very interesting point of what partnership agreements really do, how they solve this problem for Lori. What Lori did, she made a deal where she brought in cash of 100, and she said, I'll split everything that's left at the end of the day with the partnership. So since the amount of cash left at the end of the day was 170, her agreement was to split that half and half. So John made out like a bandit because he got an extra few dollars. So he really sold it for the equivalent of 85. His basis was 60, so he should recognize a gain of 25. Well, here's 15 of it here. That's number one. And the other 10 is here, number 2. Put them together, that's the right amount of gain that John is paying tax on, 25. Lori's agreement was flawed. Here's what Lori should have said. Lori should have said the following in her agreement. I'm bringing in the cash, all first dollars out, whatever that is, first dollars out, go to me, Lori. That's what the agreement should have said. If it said that, she wouldn't have lost $15,000, which she basically just gave away to John. And that's why in class I said that Lori gets rid of John and throws him in the gutter. Okay, let's pause here, and then we'll do another video for the remaining of the slides. So watch this in succession, even though I'm doing a pause here.